So back with Victoria and Medicine, and it was a cool little thing that happened. Not last night, the night before. Um, Madison's gonna turn all red right now.
She gives a
so,
lot of details.
so we're having sex at the end of the night, 2 nights ago, and I kind of went down on her first, and she orgasmed, and then and then we're on to I kind of come up and stuff, and then I start like fingering her, and I can like it's going okay, I guess, in some ways, but in other ways, I'm like, I can feel some part of her energy is off. So, make sure everything's kind of cool and kosher. I like look at her and I'm like, you okay? And then she said,
I'm feeling vulnerable right now.
so obviously, I stop and we kind of start cuddling again. And I guess we're just talking at this point, just hugging and cuddling and talking. And then, I say, I'm sorry. And she's like, you say it now.
I'm like, it's not your fault though.
And I thought that was so interesting because I wasn't actually from when I said it, I wasn't thinking I was apologizing for a behavior of mine. Or I didn't think that I was apologizing because I was taking responsibility for it. I was apologizing. I know that's how she took it,
Mhm.
and that's why she said that. I thought that was obvious in a lot of ways, but I could see how she would think that I was apologizing for it. But actually, when I said that, I wasn't thinking about that at all. I was actually thinking in my head, I'm like, wow, I know what it feels like to be vulnerable. It's pretty hard.
Mhm.
I have empathy and I can feel that there's something off about your energy. And I even know the feeling,
Mhm.
but more so than I know the feeling, I know that you're not 100%.
Yeah.
You're not totally,
You know my energy.
I know your energy is off. So I'm like, just responding to that feeling that I'm saying in a way, I can be there for
Like,
you.
I feel you.
I feel you. I'm here for support. I'm here if you need just to talk or to hug or whatever it was. So I wasn't taking responsibility. I was really just kind of saying that I'm here
Mhm.
and I'm present with you in the moment. And I'm here in whatever capacity you want me. And so that was an interesting kind of just realization, I guess, that we had. But I think then I kind of started thinking about this kind of concept of apologizing. And us as queer and trans people and anyone who's not totally normal, whatever the fuck that is, and we are kind of taught to apologize for our existence.
Hide your truth.
Hide your truth. Apologize to those who are the normal police
Because it makes people uncomfortable.
exactly like maybe it does
Yeah.
maybe we all need to be a little bit more uncomfortable or comfortable in being uncomfortable.
I love that.
Yeah. Like there's nothing wrong with being uncomfortable.
That's where growth happens.
That's cool, but also in terms of what other people.
Yeah.
I'm not into a whole bunch of different kinks, for example, but I am totally comfortable being uncomfortable with somebody else's preferences,
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's right to exist. So no one needs to apologize to me for being who they are because I am comfortable regardless of what I think personally. It's more important to me for people to be themselves. So I think we as people who have learned not to apologize for our existence, once you stop doing that, how different your life becomes.
Mm-hmm. It's freeing.
How different your life becomes when you aren't worried about the judgment of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're doing is if you are somebody who is cognizant of the judgment of others, inherently you know that they have a right and a wrong, a yes and a no.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you fall outside of their yes or no, you may feel the need to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It's like, who are you living for? Are you living for them and their
Exactly.
acceptance and their approval, or are you living for you and what feels right to you?
Just like I am totally fine with that person being who they are. I am not apologizing for being who I am. And we need to get to a place in all of society, in the entire world, where every single person has that in their head. And how different the world would be if everyone was just actually accepting of other people.
This is a common theme for us. We always talk about how we want to help people live their authentic truth
Definitely.
and how much better that will make the world if we could all do that.
Oh my God. Just if I could snap my fingers and make every single person just be their authentic self and also accept other people for being their authentic selves, the world would instantaneously cease to exist in the way it does right now.
Yeah.
It would be such a catastrophically enormous societal worldwide effect that the entire world would look very different.
Are there any like steps that you can think of that people can take to like start walking towards that?
To stop apologizing?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say I think of when I got compliments early on in my transition,
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, oh no,
Yeah.
stop, oh, blah, 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 whatever. Or like naysaying, like literally me being my
or
first.
feeling like you have to give a compliment back.
Or something like that. Or like actually feeling like I have to bully myself. And so there was one day and I was like, today I'm going to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
When someone gives me a compliment, whenever that happens to be, I'm going to say yes, thank you.
I remember you said to me that you noticed how I received compliments.
Yes.
And you were like, oh.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Like you can tell how you get them because when I used to get a compliment, I'd be like, no, speaking negatively about myself, and then almost
Putting yourself down.
putting myself down or having to respond.
Right.
Yeah. And so I started saying yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And that's what you do. And that's what I was like, wow.
And it feels better.
It feels better.
Yeah.
They didn't give it, and also it probably feels better for the other person as well.
For sure.
If I give a compliment to somebody else, I'm not waiting for a response. All I'm doing is giving a little piece of love out into the world.
Yeah.
Right? And hope that it is received well. But I don't expect something back. But if something does come back, great. But it's not something that I ever think about.
No.
So why would I not do that same service to somebody else who gives me a compliment?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, maybe I'd say that's the first step.
Yeah.
Not apologizing, accepting the good.
Yeah.
Accepting the good that other people see in you.
I think another step is like filtering your environment. Like if you find yourself, something that's super common is, the comparison, right? And comparison makes you judge yourself. So filtering your social media. If you find you have people in your social media that are negative or people on your social media that you're comparing yourself to and it's making you feel less than, filtering that, unfollowing people, not being exposed, because you are a picture of your environment, right? So I think that would be
You always talk about that.
Yeah, I think that's a huge one.
She always talks about that you surround yourself with the things that you want, and
everything that you surround yourself with feeds who you are, whether it's your friends, the music you listen to, the books you read, all of that stuff.
Yeah. The habits you create.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I think the path towards not apologizing really is a step of self-love.
Mm-hmm.
It is not only a step towards authenticity and a step towards self-realization, but it is a step towards like a real growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because your confidence in who you are is an internal thing in the end. If you constantly talk shit about yourself, and I fucking did that for so long, I talked so badly to myself. So badly. I was my first bully. And
checking in with your inner critic.
100% If you're talking shit about yourself in your head or outside, then that's going to permeate to your actual belief of self.
You are your thoughts. You can literally rewire your brain one way or another.
100%.
And it can like create false memories even. It's actually pretty incredible.
It's crazy. And so speaking nicely to myself, giving myself the grace that I give others so freely.
There's that quote. It's like, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so instead of being my first bully, let me be my first fucking cheerleader.
Yeah.
And that has come from the realization of self. And that has come from growth from within. And that all of these little steps forward, all of these little steps upward, onward and upward, right? Yeah. Towards a place where you love yourself, but you can love other people. And I find with me in my transition, maybe the best thing that I ever evolved to was not just myself, was not just my love of another person and the acceptance of that love back, but it was the desire to give back. It was the desire to make the world better. And 20 years ago, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And now I am. So anyways, before I get all teary.
Uh-oh, second time today.
Okay.